Hepinize tekrardan merhabalar arkadaşlar. Kingdom Come Delivarence'ın yeni bölümüne hoş geldiniz. Bir önceki bölüme kartlardan ulaşabilirsiniz. Kaldığımız yerden devam. Şimdi en son geçen bölüm şöyle bir envanterimizi açarsak. En son şey yapmıştık. Kuneş miydi? Kuneş diye okunmuyordu, o da Kuneş diye yazıyor. Ah bak. Ben Kuneş diyeceğim, okuyamıyorum. Kuneş'ten babamıza borcu vardı Kuneş'in. Borcumuzu tahsil ettik arkadaşlarımız sayesinde. Ondan sonra şeyden tavernadan içki aldık babamız için. Bira. Onun dışında başka bir şeyimiz yok. Kömür falan aldık. Şimdi Sir Radzig'in kılıcını tamamlayacağız. İnşallah. Baba. Reis ya. Dövüyor kılıcı. Geldim. Bütün malzemeler tamam. Bir de kılıç eğitimi aldık geçen bölüm.
About time. Have you got everything I wanted?
Aldım. Evet aldık.
Charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job. Let's have it then, son. Well done.
Hadi bakalım.
Right. Let's see what kind of job the master in Sasau did for us. Look at that lad. That's what I call craftsmanship.
What does the inscription mean?
Damned if I know. Doesn't look like Czech to me. Latin, maybe? Lord Radzig ordered it. Oh, this will be the finest sword I've ever made. Have we got the charcoal?
Aldık, onu da
Good.
aldık.
And fire up the forge. We'll put it all together. By the way, someone paid me a call. I
Kim
reckon
geldi?
you might know what it was about.
I'm not sure.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure you and your friends threw dung at Deutsch's freshly whitewashed house.
Ya o bir şey
I was
olmaz
here with
ondan
the
ya.
catchpole earlier, and it was not a friendly visit. What got into you, Hal?
Kral
Deutsch
hakkında
was
ileri geri
talking
konuşuyordu.
treason in the tavern about Sigismund and the king.
İşte.
He got what he deserved.
Got what he deserved, did he?
İki gübre attık diye sen de.
You can go and clean up the mess you made and apologize to him. I have a trade to run. The German pays well, and having my son in the pillory helps nothing and nobody, least of all the king. You understand?
Yes.
Look me in the eye, Henry. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good. Then we'll never have this conversation again.
So you think it's right to let traitors speak ill of our king?
The boy gets caught, making a fool of himself, and he still hasn't learned his lesson. So Deutsch spouts rubbish, and what? You turn into a common thug. You might win a
Adam da
fight
haklı
with
şimdi yani. Bir
violence,
şey
but
diyemedim.
never win an argument. Remember, Henry, if you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth and not your fists.
Eyvallah reis, eyvallah.
The furnace is ready.
Right, we'll do the grip. I'll heat it up, and when I take it out, you slip the grip on so it fits exactly. You know what you're doing. Do it. Good. Once more. That's it. Done. Now file it down so it sits well in the hand. I'll prepare the guard.
Yavrum benim kılıca bak be.
Father, why did you leave Prague? Who ever heard of a master swordsmith making horseshoes in a village?
I had my reasons, Hal. And here I have your mother and you. Why would I want any other life?
Do you remember Emperor Charles?
I do. Life was good under his reign.
Better than now.
He built half of Prague and a score of castles, had a bridge made over the Moldau, and founded a university, and all without a war. He knew how to rule.
Better than Wenceslas.
Better by far. But Wenceslas doesn't have it easy. It's hard to step into the shoes of someone whose like is born only once 1,000 years.
What about Sigismund?
Do you think Charles would have brought an army down on his own people like Sigismund? No. Wenceslas may not be the equal of his father, but Sigismund, he brings shame to the royal name. How's it going? Give it here, and we'll put it all together.
Çok oturdu ha. Reis araya bir şey koyaydın, ezdin şeyi ya. Çizilecek güzelim kablo.
It's magnificent.
Indeed it is. The Lord be with you. My father sent me for those nails.
Good day to you, Teresa. They're ready. Will you fetch them for me, Hal? They're in the trunk in the living room.
Aa ben onları oyunun başında aldım ya.
Henry, are you all right?
Aynen bak direkt ocağa babanın yanına git dedi tekrar. Geldim. Gidip Teresa için çivileri aldı. Ben aldım mı? Bak bir anda tamamlandı görev.
Henry, are
Aldım
you
ya.
all right?
Here are those nails you wanted.
Thanks.
That will do. Go
So,
and get
how's
those
Bianca?
damn nails.
She's fine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering, will you be going to the dance this evening?
We will.
Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway, mustn't keep you.
Henry,
I'll be on
what are
my
you
way.
waiting for?
That
Bring
sword
those
is
nails.
truly beautiful.
Eyvallah. Babam doğrudan çivileri şey yap diyor hala.
Fine lass, eh? Now stop staring at her and come and see this. It's time for the trial by fire.
Reis test edecek. Oy, bak çok iyi.
We did a fine job.
I would expect nothing less from such a renowned swordsmith.
Those days are gone, sir.
You haven't lost your skills, though. Would you like to try it?
Sir, what good is a sword to a
Let him
commoner?
try it.
Deneyelim ya. Reis ver bakayım ya. Hadi aslanım vur bir tane şeye. Senin ben kalıbına tüküreyim.
You still have a lot to learn. Ask your father to show you how. He knows what he's about.
Learning his trade will serve him better in life, sir.
Perhaps. But who knows what the future holds for each of us. I see that you almost have it finished.
It just needs a polish, then Henry will bring it to you.
Excellent. Fine work, very fine. A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer. What say you, Svan?
True, Sir Radzig. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently. How odd to find such an accomplished swordsmith working in a place like this. A man of his talent would have no problem making a fortune in Prague or Vienna.
You're right. It's a very long and peculiar story.
I'd be glad to listen to it over a cup of wine, but duty calls, and I must leave. Here you are. Learn from your father. He truly is a master of his craft.
I'm sure our paths will cross again.
He certainly will.
Once it's ready, send your son up to me with it. Good work, Martin.
Sir.
Nasıl satayım? Rezil olduk ya. Nereye? Oğlum bir tane tahtayı kesemedin ya.
It's been an honor, Sir Ispan. Have a safe journey to Sasau.
The honor is mine, Sir Radzig. Thank you for the hospitality.
Ziyarete gelmiş gidiyor herhalde bir tane lord.
A long, peculiar history.
That was a long time ago. I might tell you about it sometime, but not today.
Will you teach me how to use it like Sir Radzig said?
Why?
Well, it could come in useful. Maybe I'll travel a bit before settling down. I'd like to know more than the tavern on the green and the forge.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started. I might teach you how to handle a sword, and then someone will shoot you with a crossbow as soon as you set foot outside the house.
You talk as if you've seen it happen.
A man my age has seen a lot. Being a blacksmith might bring no glory, but it has its benefits, like keeping your head on your shoulders. I want to end my days in Skalitz, here, beneath the linden tree and by your mother's side.
Well, so do I, one day. But first, I'd like to see the world, meet new people.
Meet them or beat them.
Meet. You have to keep going on about it.
Then you've no need to learn swordplay.
Adam her halükarda... Ne oluyor lan?
A messenger.
He was in a hurry. What's happened?
Ne oluyor lan? Sıçtık galiba. Oo. Oğlum bir sürü sancak var. Lan kapıları kapatın diyecektim. Kaçın lan kaçın. Oğlum ok yağıyor, bunlar şey izliyor ya.
Listen to me, Al. Listen carefully. Take the sword, go into the house, and grab anything else important from the trunk. Go to the castle. Hurry.
What about you?
Your mother is in the village. I'll fetch her and we'll follow right behind.
I'll go with you.
No. You do what I say right now. Give the sword to Sir Radzig. If anything happens, he'll take care of you. He owes me.
Tamam. Sir Radzig babamıza borçlu. Kapa kapıyı kapa. Aman aman. Lan şu Bianca değil miydi yere düşen? Oo.
Quickly! We have to close the gates!
Move! Come on, we're closing!
Move it, people!
Come on!
We're running
Come
out of
on!
time! Oh, Henry! Thank God! Get inside, quick! We have to shut the
Keep
gates!
running, people! Come on!
Mind this for me.
Are you mad? You can't go back! Ah,
Get through the gates!
Reis dövüşmeyi biliyor ya. Henry al bir kılıç koş oğlum. Al bir kılıç oradan. Ha elinde var zaten, Sir Radzig'in kılıcı var. Lan. Ah lan. Şerefsiz. Tabak kafalı. Hadi kaç oğlum, bizi parçalarlar.
Come on, Hal! You can still make it!
Adamlar çok kalabalık. Yürü. Sıkın lan sıkın.
Find a horse!
Kapıyı kapattılar.
Try to tell Merc! Tell them what's coming! Warn them!
Run by the moat! There's a path down there! Jump down from the wall and flee!
Yana yol yapmışlar. Talmberg'e gideceğiz. Ha, Sir Radzik burada. Lan bizim hiçbir askerimiz yok ya. Sir Radzik Kobilya konuşamadım. Sir Radzik'in kılıcı. Koşuyorum. Talmberg'e at sür at bul. Tamam. Ciğerim soldu, dur. Oğlum aşağıda at var. Şurada atlar var da adam da var. Emaneti çeksene oğlum.
Or I'll kill you. Go to hell, you charter beast!
Ne oluyor lan? Ne oluyor lan burada? Oğlum 3 kişi adamlar. Yardım edeyim mi? Ağzına tükürdüklerimin. Çık lan. Bunlar beni. Allah Allah. Dur dur. Öldüm lan ben.
Beszarás, és pont amikor kedvem lenne valakiből kiverni a lelket. Így végződik a rossz.
Bir şansımı deneyeyim dedim ya. Neyse save'e geri atacak zaten. Devam et. Tamam, atı alıp kaçacağım o zaman oradan. Evet. Onları kesemiyoruz. Adamlar kalabalık, bir de zırhlılar. Bir şansımı deneyeyim dedim. Yavaş lan.
You pigs! Don't touch me, or I'll kill you! Go to hell, you charter beast!
Keresztlenek ilyenket, hogy ne lembődjön.
Koş koş koş koş koş. Bin ata bin. Ata nasıl biniyordu? Ata binme tuşuna X lan X ata binme tuşu mu olur?
Jó kis falat! Ne feszengtek
Koş
napra.
koş. De. At bu kadar gidiyor. Oyun kaydedildi. Oo. Adamlar komple indirdi oğlum burayı. Oku. Aha, girdi bacağı. Koş koş koş koş. Bacağımdan vuruldum zaten. Talmberg'e gidiyoruz. Geliyor oğlum adamlar. Çekil yoldan, çekil. İnşallah doğru gidiyorumdur. Sola diyor. Girdim oğlum sola. Şuradan bir daha sola şey yapalım, girelim. Oğlum benim at kösülecek birazdan. Enerjisi bitecek. Adam koş koş. Skalis'i yakmadılar, yıktılar adamlar. İçinden geçtiler Skalis'in. Vallahi geliyor adamlar. At hadi oğlum. Az dayan. At kösülecek, enerjisi bitiyor. Aşağıdaki yeşil var bu arada.
Run for it.
Atın koşacak şey kalmadı ki.
Yeah.
Koş koş koş koş koş.
Warn the others.
Kaçın oğlum kaçın.
Tore its scallops.
At kösülüyor, at kösülüyor. At kösüldü ben.
Run for it.
Koş lan koş.
Yeah.
Anasını satayım. Kanamam da var. Bacağımdan vuruldum ya. Talmberg'i az daha uzağa yapamadınız mı oğlum? Aha. Aha gördüm. Geldik ha. Aha. Oğlum bir tane daha vuracaklar bak şimdi. Geçirecek adam bana kızıyor. Tam bir yardım edin lan. Sık sık. Vurun oğlum şunları vurun. Tamam geçtik geçtik. Kötü kurtardık. Oğlum biri şu bacağımıza baksın lan.
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages.
Yarasın.
Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
Bak insanlar da konuşuyor şimdi. Herkesin içine kurt
Grit your
düştü.
teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out.
Sarı verin bacağı, o bir şey kalmaz. Bir diki verin onu.
Easy. All done.
Dayı
You're
oktan
lucky
çıkarabilecek misin kim olduğunu?
The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Dayı dur, ayakta zor duruyoruz. Bir şey yapıyor.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Ha, Lord da bu dayı. Divish. Ha köpeğe bak.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
Bir sürü sancak vardı dayı.
I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Kuttenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle?
Öldü dayı.
I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Çok iyi oyun ya. Valla böyle durup övüyorum ama. Sir Robert ile konuş. Robert nerede? Bu deviş. Robert az önce beni taşıdı. Reis.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Tamamdır reis.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but
Nasıl
I'm
itibar
sure he had
kaybettim
his
lan?
reasons. He had a fine
Kaçtık diye
reputation.
mi?
It's a great loss.
Mutfak neresi dayıcım? Burası. Heh.
Milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bojana here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you?
Olur abla. Varsa bir mercimek çorbası falan bir içeriz yani.
Here you are then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Tamam reis, sakin ol ya. Karnımızı doyuralım ya. Başlıktan karakterin kafa gitti. Mercimek püresi ver. Dur. Bende ekmek elma falan da var ya. Mercimek çorbası. Bak şu mercimek püresini yeni aldık. Bu arada yiyeceklerin dayanıklılığı var. Bozuluyorlar. Önce mercimek çorbasını yiyeyim ben. Püresi dursun. Besin kaç? 8 diyor lan. Nasıl 8 lan? Ekmek ye oğlum üstüne. 25 oldu. 50 tane elma var üstümde. Elma göm. Yapıştır elmayı. Avuç 19 tane var. Azıcık avuç ye. Dur oğlum. Masada tavuk mavuk bir şeyler var lan. Bak yuvarlak ekmekler. Bunları bir alalım. Buralar yemek dolu ya. Bak bak bak fırında tavuk. Of. Şarap vardı, dur şarap da içelim. Şarap. Şarap şu. Şarabı ver. Şarabı şimdi içmeyelim de. Peynirleri ver. Bak yemek çok burada. Bir bakayım, bozulmaya yakın olan şeyleri yiyelim ilk önce. Sonra gidelim bir yatalım, bir uyuyalım, bir kendimize gelelim. Elmaları da alalım. Fıçıdan şarap doldurabiliyoruz mu? Yok. Başka yiyecek bir şeyler var mı? Bak bunları çal diyor. Çalmayacağız. Soymuyoruz sağa solu. Tamam. Envanteri bir aç şimdi. Şimdi elma çok fazla var. Tavuk dursun. Tavuğu yeni aldık. Lahana var 3 tane. Ye bakayım bir tane. Lahana iyi dolduruyormuş lan. Yuvarlak ekmekler falan var. Bak eskiden kalan yuvarlak ekmeğimiz de var. Bir tane de yuvarlak ekmek gömsem 92. Tamam yeter. Bunlar ne lan? İyileşme. Tamam. Tamam. Gidelim bir.
Please tell me what happened at Skalitz. I have kin there.
Nerede akraban var dayıcım? Buyur. Çok kötüydü dayı ya. Sorma. Kimin ordusu olduğunu bilmiyoruz. Yok her türlü Sigismund'un ordusu olarak o zaman. Kalpte niye -1 var lan? Gelirken Rovna'yı da yaktılar.
It seemed like any other day. And then I saw thick smoke rising above the hamlet of Rovna. Soon Sigismund's army were finished there and came for us. The order to attack must have come even before the alarm bell rang.
God preserve us.
We all ran towards the castle for shelter, but they were too fast for us. They slaughtered everyone they caught and torched their houses. I barely escaped and they murdered my parents.
The Lord have mercy. I'm terribly sorry. May the Lamb of God comfort you.
Eyvallah, eyvallah. Sen torbayı almayacağım. Yere bıraktım bunu ama. Neyse. Şurada mıydı yatacağımız yer? Selamünaleyküm. Şurası mı? Bir otur bakayım. Görev ne bu arada? Dur bakayım bir. Envanteri aç da. Görev uyumak mı? Uyumaksa sabah olana kadar uyu diyor. Tamam uyuyalım. Uyuyalım aga. Yattım. Sabah olana kadar. Sabah 6 iyi mi? 11 saat. Oha. 11 saat uyuyacağız. 7'ye kadar uyuyayım. Takatim fullensin. Yemeğimiz var. Yeriz. Başla uyumaya. Hani sabaha kadar uyuyorduk lan. Kim kaldırır beni? Ay yağmur yağıyor. Bunlar hazırlanıyorlar şimdi şeye. Saldırıya. Film gibi oyun ya. Ha, biri geldi.
Yes?
Lady geldi. Kalk lan kalk. Lady geldi.
Forgive
Kalk.
the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
Sağ olun Lady'm de şimdi
My lady.
Sir Divish sıkıntı çıkar
Thank you.
mısın?
You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry.
Lady'm bir durum.
I know
Bismillah
this
ya
is
daha
all
yeni geldik
very
ya.
new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Sinek geçiyor bazen. Ondan elimi sallıyor. Lan bana bir şey oldu. Baskını anlatalım.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands.
Lady Stephanie'nin şeyini bilmiyoruz.
I went to the tavern to buy ale for father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind, because my girl Bianca worked there. I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzik. Father and I always chat in the forge. On that particular day, I asked him if he'd teach me swordsmanship. He said no. He said it's better for a man to keep his head on his shoulders than lose it over some pointless heroism. If only you'd known what fate had in store for us.
Oh.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. I saw smoke on the horizon from a village Sigismund pillaged on the way to our town, which was soon to meet the same fate.
God have mercy.
Full konuşmadan gidiyorum. Tutturdum diye.
The gate to the castle was open. The bells and horns sounded the alarm, and the villagers ran to the castle to take cover. They were carrying the few possessions they could grab in haste, and I saw the terror in their eyes.
I can't even imagine how awful it must have been.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
Biraz kolpa sıkıyoruz gibi. Biz bilmiyorduk o yolu. Bize söylediler.
I wasn't safe yet. The Cumans were going from house to house below the castle, looting and then torching them. They encircled the castle, and it was clear they could spot me at any moment.
May God punish them.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her.
Yalan söylemeyelim. Yalan söylemeye gerek yok.
I wanted to help her. God knows I wanted to.
Denedim, bir turda yardım ettik de öldük ya.
Even though I had the sword we made for Sir Radzik, they had me outnumbered and they were well armed too. I only just managed to grab one of their horses and ride off. I couldn't help her any more than I could have helped my parents.
It wasn't your fault.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
Oh, you poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed
15 yıl mı?
I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years.
7 yılmış. 15 diye kalmış
That's how long
aklımda.
it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a
Oğlum
ransom.
7 yıl adam kendi kalesinde
Only
esir
then,
kalmış lan.
by the
7
grace
yıl.
of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never.
Nasıl ya?
And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
7 yıl az değil.
Seems like a good, strong man.
İntikam almadı mı ya?
Only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Yemek bize değil miydi ya?
I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Dedim sen bir sorun çıkaracaksın gibi ama ya. Çok bir şey yaptın direkt. Abi senin kocan yaşlanmış falan filan da yani bizde... Neyse. Yatağı niye ters yatıyorsun oğlum? Öbür taraf değil mi başa denk gelen taraf? Yüksek olan taraftır ya. Ya görüyoruz. Böyle olmadı oğlum. Böyle olmadı aga. Rüyadan, hep rüyadan.
Henry, wake up.
Aha.
You don't want to miss this.
Ne oldu lan?
What's happening? Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Harbi mi? Siperlere git dedi. Evet arkadaşlar, bu bölümümüzün de burada sonuna gelelim. İzlediğiniz için teşekkürler. Like atıp abone olmayı unutmayın. Kendinize iyi bakın, hoşça kalın.